Have you ever wondered how a simple online bookstore, born in a garage, could grow to become one of the most powerful and influential companies in the history of the world? This is not just a story of business success. It is a tale of relentless ambition, of a journey that began with a single, audacious idea and evolved into a global empire that has reshaped how we live, shop, and even think. It is the story of Amazon, a testament to the power of a vision that dared to see the future and had the courage to build it. Brick by digital brick, from a humble beginning in a Seattle suburb to the very fabric of our modern lives. This is the journey of how one man, dreamed to sell books online, transformed into a force that dominates e-commerce, pioneers cloud computing, and continues to redefine the boundaries of technology and retail, touching nearly every aspect of our daily existence. It all began in 1994 in Bellevue, Washington, a place that would become the cradle of a revolution. The internet was a fledgling, mysterious frontier, and a man named Jeff Bezos saw in it something others did, and an opportunity to create the world's greatest online bookstore. He quit his lucrative job on Wall Street, packed his life into a car, and drove cross-country. Drafting his business plan along the way, in July 1995, Amazon.com flickered to life. The first item sold was a book. Bezos chose books not just out of a love for reading, but for a brilliantly practical reason. They were a universal commodity, easy to categorize, standardize, and, most importantly, ship. From the very outset, a core principle was etched into Amazon's DNA: customer obsession. This wasn't just a corporate slogan, it was a guiding star. Bezos understood that in the faceless world of online retail, trust was the most valuable currency. Features we now take for granted, the customer reviews, and the revolutionary one-click ordering system, were born from this relentless focus on creating the most seamless, user-friendly experience imaginable. The initial success was intoxicating, but for Bezos, the bookstore was just the first chapter. He saw the vast potential of his platform. Soon, Amazon began to sell music and movies, then electronics and toys. By the late 90s, the bookstore had morphed into an everything store, a sprawling digital marketplace. To fuel this explosive growth, Amazon went public on the NASDAQ in 1997, a move that would provide the capital needed to turn its bold ambitions into concrete reality. The foundation was laid, but the true tests were yet to come. The dawn of the new millennium brought with it a storm that would wipe out countless internet dreamers. The dot-com bubble burst, and the digital landscape was littered with the wreckage of failed startups. It was a period of intense turmoil and skepticism, a trial by fire for the young company. Many predicted Amazon would be another casualty, its stock price plummeting as the market corrected itself. But while others panicked, Amazon hunkered down. Guided by Bezos' long-term vision, the company focused not on short-term profits, but on survival and infrastructure. They managed costs with ruthless efficiency and poured what little they had into building the unglamorous but essential backbone of their operation: a vast, sophisticated network of warehouses and logistics. This focus on getting products to customers faster and more reliably than anyone else became their moat, a deep competitive advantage that traditional retailers struggled to comprehend, let alone match. It was during this period of crisis and consolidation that the seeds of Amazon's next and perhaps greatest revolution were sown. In running its massive e-commerce site, Amazon had built an incredibly powerful and scalable internal technology infrastructure. An idea, almost audacious in its simplicity, began to form. What if they could rent out this immense computing power to other businesses? In 2006, this idea became Amazon Web Services (AWS). It was the world's first true cloud computing service, a pioneering leap into an entirely new industry. It initially offering simple storage and computing services, AWS was a quiet giant in the making. While the world was focused on Amazon's retail expansion, the company was secretly building the engine that would power the next generation of the internet. A year later, in 2007, Amazon launched another game-changer, the Kindle. It was more than just a device. It was a physical manifestation of Amazon's original mission, a tool that aimed to digitize reading itself, making every book ever written available in 60 seconds. The decade that began in crisis ended with Amazon emerging stronger, more diversified, and poised to dominate not one, but two, entirely new frontiers: The decade from 2010 to 2020 was when Amazon's quiet investments blossomed into undeniable global dominance. The once secret project AWS exploded onto the scene, becoming the company's primary profit engine. Its growth was staggering. AWS became the undisputed leader in infrastructure as a service, IaaS, providing the foundational computing power for countless startups, government agencies, and even its own emerging rivals like Netflix. It was the digital plumbing of the modern world, and Amazon controlled the flow. While AWS was generating massive profits, the e-commerce arm continued its relentless expansion. Amazon invested billions in its logistics and delivery network, acquiring its own fleet of planes, trucks, and delivery vans. The goal was to shrink the time between click and delivery, to make online shopping almost instantaneous. Services like Prime, with its promise of 2-day shipping, and events like Prime Day, a manufactured shopping holiday, were masterstrokes in building customer loyalty, transforming casual shoppers into devoted subscribers. Amazon was no longer just a store, it was a utility, an indispensable part of daily life for millions. But the ambition didn't stop there. In 2017, Amazon sent shockwaves through the retail world by acquiring Whole Foods Market for nearly $14 billion. This was its first major, defiant step into the world of brick-and-mortar grocery, a clear signal that no industry was safe from its reach. At the same time, Amazon was quietly entering our homes. The launch of the Echo smart speaker and its intelligent assistant, Alexa, placed Amazon at the center of the burgeoning smart home market. In direct competition with giants like Google and Apple, by the end of the decade, Amazon wasn't just delivering packages to our doors. It was inside our kitchens, living rooms, and data centers, its influence woven into the very fabric of society. As the world entered the 2020s, it was confronted by the unprecedented challenge of the COVID-19 pandemic. In this new reality of lockdowns and social distancing, Amazon's role became more critical than ever. E-commerce became a lifeline for households, and the cloud infrastructure provided by AWS became the backbone for remote work, streaming, entertainment, and telehealth. The company that had been built for the future found itself indispensable in the present. This period also marked a monumental transition. In 2021, after 27 years at the helm, Jeff Bezos stepped down as CEO. He passed the torch to Andy Jassy, the man who had built AWS from a nascent idea into a global colossus. This move signaled a new era for Amazon, one where the cloud and the burgeoning field of artificial intelligence would be central to its future. Under Yassy's leadership, Amazon is doubling down on AI, competing fiercely with Microsoft and Google. Services like Amazon Bedrock are being rolled out to empower other businesses to build and deploy their own generative AI models, ensuring that just as AWS powered the last decade's web, it will power the AI revolution of the next. Simultaneously, the e-commerce giant continues its aggressive global expansion, pushing into emerging international markets and tirelessly optimizing its supply chains and mobile shopping experiences for a new generation of consumers. The empire continues to expand, its journey far from over. The story of Amazon is more than a corporate biography. It's a powerful lesson in vision, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of reinvention. It is a journey defined by a willingness to constantly reinvest, to sacrifice short-term profits for the promise of long-term scale. A philosophy that baffled Wall Street for years but ultimately built an unassailable empire. It is a story about the uncanny ability to see the future before it arrives, to accurately predict tectonic shifts in technology like e-commerce and cloud computing, and to have the courage to venture into entirely new, uncharted territories. From a garage filled with books to a global network that touches the clouds, Amazon's path is a testament to the idea that with unwavering customer obsession and an audacious long-term vision, a single idea can truly change the world. It's a journey that reminds us that the greatest ventures often begin with the simplest of questions, and that the future belongs to those who are bold enough to build it.